So today's video is my 23 weeks pregnancy video, and I'm currently 23 weeks, 5 days today, so that makes us just about 16 weeks away from the 40-week mark, or put into terms of months, that's 3 3/4 months until my estimated due date of September 24th, so that is so exciting how the time is just flying right by. Since my previous video, I've had 2 doctor's appointments since. The first appointment, which was a month ago, was the anatomy scan in which we were able to determine the gender, which is so exciting, so I'll go into that later in this video. And a week after that, I had my standard OB appointment with some additional blood work, but nothing too out of the ordinary. It was pretty routine, but since the past month, a lot has changed. We decided on the baby's name, and also I've been feeling the baby kicks more recently. The past few weeks, I'd say, they get stronger every week, and I'll go into that later in this video as well. So according to my app, the baby is the size of an ear of corn, and the baby is 11.4 inches and weighs about 1.1 pounds. That's crazy to think that the baby already weighs a pound, because I know for a fact that I've gained at least 10 pounds. 3 weeks ago at my last appointment, I was 10 pounds up from my pre-pregnancy weight, and I think I've gained a bit more weight since then. And definitely the bump has been growing since as well. So yeah, I think that accounts for it, and also I should watch my eating and try not to overdo it and abuse the pregnancy cravings, or whatever you want to call it, for yourself. I mean, I think they are pretty legitimate. But anyways, on this other app it says at week 23 the baby is as big as a grapefruit. So if you want to compare grapefruit to ear of corn, I'm not sure. Obviously one is like much rounder than the other. But bottom line, the baby weighs about a pound at 23 weeks, and most likely you will be able to feel the baby kicking. In this app, they have a 3D depiction of the baby, and you can kind of scroll through and see the changes that are happening. Right now it says baby's lungs start producing a substance called surfactant, which helps prep them for breathing air on the outside. And the baby's skin now has a reddish tint thanks to the developing veins underneath. And the nerve endings in baby's inner ear, the cochlea, are fully developed, so now baby may be startled at loud noises and may respond by turning his or her head. So, and then baby's also becoming familiar with their voice, which he or she will recognize at birth. So I think that's pretty exciting that the baby can get to know your voice, and so I do try my best to remain calm, not raise my voice, because I know that may or may not have an impact on the baby. But just in general, I try to be calm for the sake of the baby and for the sake of myself, to, you know, maintain composure. Yeah, I think it's just good practice, especially since the baby can hear my voice right now. So now we're going to move on and do the bump shot, and a lot has changed since a month ago when I did my last video. So let's just go ahead and see the changes. Alright, so here's what the bump looks like right now at 23 weeks. As you can see, it's quite pronounced from my last one. And both the shirt and leggings are from H&M, from their maternity line. So the shirt has like these little gathers, so, and also they have a longer cut to kind of cover more of the bump. But yeah, that's the shirt, and these are the pregnancy leggings, which actually have a panel that starts from like here and goes around, of a more lightweight stretch knit material, so it's really comfortable to wear. And it also allows the main portion of the leggings not to be see-through, which is a really good plus, I think. So yeah, and they're quite reasonably priced as well, $12.99, and the shirt was $12.99 as well. And I'm trying to like not overarch my back, because I feel like that's normal when your stomach starts to grow, because I heard obviously as the pregnancy progresses you may develop back pain, unsurprisingly. But yeah, that's what it looks like so far. And honestly, I feel like every day my stomach gets bigger, so yeah, that's a pretty big change right there. So now I'm going to talk about the anatomy scan, which was exactly a month ago today, on May 1st. So I got a bunch of these ultrasound pictures, and I asked how many pictures they typically take during the anatomy scan, and the ultrasound technician said that she can print out as many as I want. So I got a very decent amount of them. And so most of them actually show the baby's spine, which is really cool. And it shows the eye sockets on the head, and yeah, the baby was moving around quite a bit in these, So they didn't have problems measuring all the things they need to measure, and also determining the gender. I may have mentioned this in my previous videos, but I know I have been hoping for a baby girl and my husband had been hoping for a baby boy, and I think that's honestly just natural because we're more comfortable with the same gender, especially when it comes to your first child, because you're not really sure what to expect. But anyways, we had told the ultrasound technician this. So halfway through the ultrasound, she starts searching for the differentiating factors on what determines the gender, and all of a sudden she blurted out, "Oh, it looks like she wins." And then at first that didn't register with me, and then I was like, "Oh, I win. That means I'm getting the baby girl that I was hoping for." So I couldn't believe it, and my husband couldn't believe it as well. We were both shocked. Honestly, I had been thinking that, oh, we're gonna have a baby boy. I didn't have like a super strong intuition either way, but it was kind of leaning like 51% more towards it being a boy. So I was completely shocked and completely happy when I realized that we're going to be having a baby girl, and that's like as more than I could have ever imagined. But yeah, she showed us on the ultrasound how to tell if it was a baby girl or a baby boy, and yeah, that was just so exciting. And it's been a month ever since. And I know we have done some shopping for some girl-specific items, and as well as purchasing the crib. So a week later, I had my standard OB checkup, and I got yet some more pictures. And this is actually the first appointment that I felt the baby move, and it was confirmed that it was the baby moving, because while the baby was showing up on the screen, the baby was moving. So she asked, "Oh, can you feel the baby? Can you feel the movements?" And I could. So to me, it felt like little air bubbles, and that's what I had been feeling for the past week prior. And I was pretty sure that it was the baby moving, but you know, it's always nice to be reassured that, you know, those feelings are in fact the baby moving, especially during the past few days. If I put my hand on my stomach, I can feel the baby move. Obviously, at certain times, the baby moves more than others. I know when you're awake and moving around throughout the day, it kind of cradles the baby, so it kind of rocks the baby to sleep. But I do notice that obviously if I eat something sweet, something spicy, or if I lay back down on my side, I'll feel the baby kind of adjusting. So ever since finding out that we're having a baby girl, we wanted to decide on a name kind of quickly, just to, you know, put a name to the baby and not call the baby something, you know, generic or gender neutral. We want to actually call her what her name is and kind of get to know her in that respect. It was actually easier deciding on a name than I had thought, because I know my husband and I have different preferences on names, and the ones that I thought were really nice, such as Charlotte or Madeline, he didn't care for those too much, which is fine. You know, we both have different preferences. But we did decide on the name, and her name is going to be called Stella Marie Wong. So Marie is the same middle name as mine, and I know Marie is kind of a common name, but I think it goes well together with Stella. And Stella is actually, we picked the name Stella before realizing that she was on the top 50 popular baby names for the past 2 years or so. So I think she will be meeting, you know, more Stellas in a similar age bracket. But that's fine, as long as the name suits her. I think, you know, it was a good decision. And she will also have a Chinese name, but we'll decide on that later, closer to the time when she's about to be born, or the day that she's born, something like that. So ever since finding out that we're having a girl, we have done a bit of shopping, obviously buying some cute baby girl clothes, and not surprisingly, most of them are pink, because I feel like this is the perfect excuse and chance to fill, you know, the wardrobe with as much pink as possible, because I miss wearing that color. I don't wear a ton of pink myself, but I definitely loved wearing it as a child, and I do miss that color. It's so bright and cheery, and yeah, I think it's really cute on babies and having their accessories be pink and such. And yeah, so we also purchased the baby crib, which we will set up at our new apartment. We're moving apartments in less than a month, so we don't want to buy too much stuff right now because it's just more stuff to haul to the new place and everything. And I'll probably do a separate haul on all the baby stuff that we got, because we got like those crib bed sheets, a crib skirt, and the little bumper that goes around the crib. And we got some baby pillows and a bunch of things. Now with regards to cravings, nothing really new, except I've been craving more fruits, but maybe also because it's entering the summer months and all these delicious summer fruits are in season. I've also been making a lot of cold salads, but obviously eating those fruits and salads isn't, you know, helping me maintain my figure, because I am gaining weight and I feel like I'm getting more like just puffy in general. So I think that should wrap it up for today's video. This was the 23 weeks pregnancy video, and as I went through, so much has changed, and I think in the next few months I'm going to change physically a lot more drastically too, because the baby is gaining a lot of weight. And yeah, so stay tuned for my next video if you want to keep seeing these updates or if they're helpful to you. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video.